Hello and welcome to the section 6 in the module 1 of our project management professional certification and onboarding program. It's still the PMP course that you're taking, and I want to congratulate you for having come thus far in the course. So today we're going to be looking at another very important topic, which is projects and project management. All right, so we'll be discussing projects. What is a project? We've been talking about projects all this while. So what is a project and why is it important, all right, in organizations, and why is it important to manage projects within organizations? So this is actually what we're going to be looking into in this section. All right, we're going to be exploring the relevance of projects, how we use projects to solve problems in organization, and why you as a project manager, if that role has been given to you, why you need to take that responsibility very seriously. Right, if you are able to understand the nature of projects and their significance in an organization or in your business, that understanding alone sets the stage for effective project management, and it gives you the capacity to be able to handle any kind of project efficiently and effectively. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump in. All right, so let's look at a project in terms of definition. A project is a temporary endeavor with a defined beginning and end, undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. So a project is an endeavor, right? Is an activity, or you can say is a set of activities or series of tasks which have been carefully planned, organized, put together, all right, and the aim is to create a unique, underline the word unique, product or a service or an outcome or a result. All right, and this endeavor, because we say it is temporary, that means it has a defined beginning, it has a start date. We can say, okay, this is the actual day and time we're starting this project, and this is the actual day and time the project is going to end. All right, haven't fulfilled or produced the requirements. All right, and another thing is a project is meant to produce a product, a result, an outcome, or we can say a deliverable that is intended to solve a problem. All right, intended to solve a problem, to meet a need. All right, and that is the reason. So the essence of the project, the essence of undertaking a project is to actually solve a problem. So the product, the service, or the result that the project is going to produce or deliver is meant to solve a problem, all right, for an organization, for a business, or even for an individual. All right, so that's very important. Projects are distinct from ongoing operations and have specific goals and constraints. All right, so when we talk about a project, they are actually different from operations. When we say operations, they are activities that actually go on and on. All right, they have no defined end. For example, the accounting system in an organization is an operation. All right, the normal everyday accounting system, all right, we call it the accounting operation, or the normal everyday fulfillment operations. All right, when there is an order, how do you fulfill it? Or the normal everyday marketing operation within an organization. These are operations. All right, they go on and on. They don't have a defined end date. All right, that's something that happens every day to keep the organization running. Do you understand that now? So these are operations. They are quite different from a project. All right, a project is more or less like, okay, there's a particular problem, we want to develop a product that can handle that problem, maybe a software that can do a particular thing. All right, let's say in the area of an accounting now, all right, I want to develop an accounting software that can actually help us take care of our cash flow system properly. All right, so you take on a project to actually develop that software. So we'll say this is when the design is going to start, this is when it's going to end, this is when we're going to deploy it. All right, or maybe in the area of marketing, you say, okay, we want to carry out a feasibility study or a market research for this particular product we want to design. All right, you can say, okay, this is the market segments that we're looking at, we're going to deploy this product in this market segment. So we want to get a feel of the field. How will the customers take the product? Do they even want it? All right, what problem is it going to solve for them? So you deploy resources into that area. It's okay, this is when we're going to start the research, these are the things we're going to do, and this is actually when it's going to end. All right, so you deploy that into the marketplace. So that is a project in the marketing aspect of the business. The other one is a project in the accounting aspect of the business. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So you can take on a project to actually deal with a particular situation or address a particular problem in an aspect of the business or the organization, right? And you define the start and you define the end date. All right, you get the results, you get the product, you deploy it, and that ends the project. All right, so it is quite different from an operation where, you know, things happen every day, right? Just the normal accounting operation every day or the normal marketing operation every day. Do you understand? So that is the distinction between a project and an operation. All right, so the project is meant to solve a specific problem, and it has specific goals, and also it's going to encounter specific constraints. Constraints are things that they try to, you know, hinder the attainment of that particular goal. So you're going to have to overcome those constraints. All right, so what are examples of projects? Let's look at some of the examples. For example, improving a business process within an organization. So like the ones I mentioned, the accounting business process or the marketing business process. All right, so you come up with a particular project to actually solve a problem or improve the operation or improve the process, all right, based on your objectives in organization. Okay, so that's one. Acquiring and installing a new computer hardware within an organization. So that is example of another project. Constructing a building, right? Maybe you want to build a new office space, right, to attend to a different market segment. You want to build a training center, you want to build a school, you want to build a house for clients, you know, those in real estate. So a project could be anything. You want to construct a road, all right? So it could be anything, all right? Developing a new pharmaceutical compound for market, maybe a pharmaceutical firm, all right? You want to develop a new compound for the market, so that can also be a project. Conducting research to develop a new manufacturing process. So like I mentioned before, in the marketing department, you want to conduct a research to see how a particular target market will react to a product line that you are considering. All right, or even in the production department, you want to do a research to see how a new product you're about to develop, how it will go. So a project could be anything at all, and the aim is to produce a product or a service or a result as meant to solve a problem or address a particular need in an organization. I hope that's clear. Okay, let's move on. So what are the characteristics of a project? Now, a project has certain attributes which differentiate them from ongoing operations or any other activity within an organization. All right, and they include unique deliverables. A project is meant to have unique deliverables. All right, projects create one-of-a-kind outcomes. So deliverables, like I mentioned before, are outcomes. They are results. They are products of an activity. You carry out an activity, you come out with an outcome. You give an input, all right, and you're going to get an output. So the output of the project is what we call the deliverable. The output of an activity, whether it is the whole of the project or a segment or phase of the project, produces a unique outcome, which we'll call deliverables. Okay, all right. So that's an attribute. Then defined scope. Projects are meant to have defined scopes. In other words, clear boundaries and objectives. All right, just like I mentioned before, there is you identify a particular problem, all right, and you say, okay, this is what we're going to do to solve this problem. And it doesn't involve everything about every aspect of the organization. Okay, it is a specific activity targeted at a specific problem, so it has boundaries. There are things that you're meant to do. It has specifications and it has objectives. All right, so it has a defined scope, and it is temporary in nature. The project is temporary in nature, so it has a finite duration. It has a defined start and a defined end date. So it's not something that goes on and on and on forever. Okay, cross-functional teams. So projects involves diverse expertise. So you're going to have to put together experts from different fields, different areas. All right, that's why I would say project is multifunctional. It's multi-dimensional. The project is not limited to any particular area or any particular aspect. It's not limited to construction. It's not limited to IT. It's not limited to human resources. It's not limited to production. It cuts across all of them. All right, so if you want to carry out a project, so you just might need to get experts from different areas, all right, that are going to have to work on that project, bring in their own expertise, all right, that's gonna help you carry out that project. Also, a project involves progressive elaboration. All right, progressive elaboration. So we'll say a project evolves, it transforms as details become clearer, because most of the time when you start out a project, you may not necessarily have all the details that you really need. Okay, you just start out with what is available. All right, you start out with what is available, the minimum available requirements. So you start out with that, and as you go on, you'll be getting more details, you'll be learning new things and applying it to the endeavor, and you are evolving and getting better. All right, so that's why I will say a project is progressively elaborated. All right, that's progressive elaboration. Okay, all right, so now we've talked about a project. All right, now let's define project management, how we are able to manage the project, organize it, deploy it, all right, and why this is actually important. Now, talking about definition, project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. All right, it is the application. You apply knowledge, application of skills, application of tools and techniques to the project activities to meet project requirements. All right, so that's very, very key. But in order for you to carry out a project, you have to have knowledge. All right, knowledge of project management processes, methodologies itself, and you need to have the skill, right? Leadership skills, resource management skills, communication skills, all right, conflict resolution skills. So different kind of skills that you have to put together. And then you also need tools, okay, softwares, different kind of tools, and then also techniques. There are techniques to using those tools, all right. Then you put all these things together, apply them to your project activities, then you come up with project requirements. All right, so that's what project management actually is. It helps individuals, groups, public and private companies in diverse ways. So it's meant for individuals, it's meant for groups, it's meant for organizations, all right, both public and private, and in different ways, including number one, project management ensures that projects are executed efficiently. Okay, so it helps you to execute your project efficiently. All right, now project management helps in meeting objectives within constraints. So when you're carrying out a project, you need to manage it so that you can meet your objectives within constraints of time, constraints of costs, constraints of quality, all right, constraints of scope. So those are constraints within the project. Also, it provides structure, processes and tools to navigate complexities and uncertainties, right? Project provides structures, processes and tools, all right, to help you navigate the complexity in today's fluid and highly competitive and complex marketplace or business landscape. We have so much complexity, so much uncertainties. So you don't want to be haphazard. You don't want to be unstrategic about what you're doing. You want to have structure. You want to have systems. You want to have processes put in place to be able to help you navigate seamlessly through these complexities and uncertainties, right, and achieve what you want to achieve efficiently and effectively. Do you understand? So it helps you save time, save resources, save costs. All right, that is the key. That's why project management is very, 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 very important. Also, it delivers the right product at the right time. So when you're managing projects as a project manager, you'll be sure that you'll be coming up with the right products, all right, the right products that are meant to solve the problem. Okay, so you're not coming up with a different thing, because in project management you're going to be doing monitoring and controlling. Do you understand? So as a project is going on, you're monitoring, you're controlling the results, the outcomes, all right, from the activities themselves. Not that you're waiting to the end for you to now say, okay, what do we have here? No, as the activity is going on, as the project is going on, you're monitoring and you're controlling, all right, to ensure that at the end of the day you have the product, the objectives are met. And not just that, met within the specified time. It's okay, we have XYZ duration to get this done. You can be sure that with project management you're gonna get it done within that time if you do the right things. Okay, now project management helps to resolve problems and issues. So like I mentioned before, project management is meant to solve a problem. That's what a project is supposed to do. A project is a response to a problem, all right? An answer to a question, an endeavor to actually meet a need, to solve a pain point for organizations, for individuals, all right? So when you manage that properly, you'll be sure that at the end of the day, that problem will be solved or that issue will be resolved. Okay, so that's what it is in a nutshell about project management and its importance within an organization. All right. Lastly, it helps to identify, recover, and terminate failing projects. Yes, this is very important because sometimes you could start out a project and due to some reasons, all right, some things might occur that will affect the project adversely and actually preclude you or prevent you from being able to reach the intended end or produce the intended outcome. All right, maybe due to some risks or constraints that were not identified at the outset and planned for. All right, because in project management we do have risk management. So you in that particular process, you identify all the risks, all the factors that could actually impede or affect adversely the successful completion of your project, and you'll be able to analyze them, quantify them, and then put plans and systems in place to either overcome them, remove them, or mitigate them. So when these are not taken care of properly, you could find that your project could be affected, all right, and needs to be terminated. So when you have such scenarios with project management, you can now either, if you're unable to recover it, sometimes you could apply other principles, all right, or other processes to recover it. We call it recovery process, all right. But when this is not feasible, then you can actually initiate a process to terminate or close the project, all right. So you can call that a premature closure, but then it is closure nonetheless, all right. And that helps you to be able to save time instead of just wasting time or wasting resources further in a failing project. So you close it or you terminate it, all right. So this is very, very important. All right, let's move on. Okay, so let's talk about business value creation. All right, I've mentioned that a project is meant to solve a problem within an organization, right? It's meant to create value. Organizations run on value. An organization is set up to provide some form of value, right, for someone or a set of someones. Do you understand? So when you have a problem and a project is actually the process that is put together to orchestrate the creation of this value, right? Like you can see from the diagram here, you have an organization. This is the current state, all right, and then you have the project here, project activities put together, activity A, activity B, activity C, and on and on. And then you move the organization from the current status to a future status, okay, within a specific amount of time, all right. So you have business value here going up, and then you have the time, all right. So let's look at that. Effective project management adds value to an organization You can see this one now. It's called organizational state transition via a project. So a project is meant to transit the state of the organization, to move the organization from its current state of lower value to a higher state in the future with a higher value. All right. So delivering projects on time and within budget. So when you're creating value, you are able to deliver projects on time and within budget. Number 2, meeting stakeholder expectations. Meeting stakeholder expectations. So like I mentioned before, in a project you have stakeholders, all right? People who are involved in the project, and these people have expectations from this project. Either they are the end users, right, who are going to use the product, the result, or the outcome or the service of the project, or they are vendors who are going to further distribute the product, okay, or maybe they are the subject matter experts who are involved in the project, or some regulatory agency, or some contracting firm, or some suppliers, whatever. Okay, you have different stakeholders involved in the project, and they have their different expectations from the project. Okay, so value creation helps, the project management helps to meet their expectations. It's a form of value creation. Minimizing risks and uncertainties, like I mentioned in the last slide. When you're carrying out a project, there are risks involved, so you're going to have to identify these risks and these uncertainties to be able to overcome them. All right. Enhancing collaboration and communication. So project management helps to enhance collaboration. So you're working with a team. As a project manager, you're not a lone ranger. You're not doing this thing solo. So you're working with a team, a group of people. So you need collaboration, and then you need to be communicating with them. All right, so now let's look at the impact of poor project management. You know, when you have a project and you don't manage it properly, it's going to have some consequences. Okay, so that's why you need to put project management principles and practices in place to get the best out of your project. All right, so just for the sake of information and preparedness, you have to know the outcome of a poorly managed project. All right, and this is not something you want to have, and that's why you need to really pay attention when you're giving projects to handle as a project manager. All right, firstly, it can lead to schedule delays. Okay, when you don't manage the project effectively and it's supposed to be delivered at a specific time, you'd realize that when that time will come, you are not ready. The product is not ready, the service is not ready. All right, and of course your customers will not be happy, your clients will not be happy, the stakeholder, right, whoever is supposed to make use of that or to get that outcome, they will not be happy. Right, so that's what poorly managed project can do. It brings about schedule delays. Also, missed deadlines. You've given a client a particular deadline to deliver on the project and you're not able to fulfill. They ain't gonna be happy. All right, so you have missed deadline, you have project overruns, budget overruns. You know, you've actually done a budget for a project. Say, okay, this project is going to cost this particular amount, and because the project was not properly managed, the costs for the activities were not properly managed, you find out that at the end of the day you were spending more than was actually budgeted for. And especially in an economy where you have rising inflation, all right, because of the poor management, you find that you're having delays when the things that need to be done, maybe items that need to be procured, are not done when they need to be done. As you delay further, the prices are rising, all right, from when you actually budgeted for them, right? They are rising beyond the cost as at the time of budgeting for them. Okay, so you find out that, all right, when you eventually go to purchase them, you're purchasing them at a higher price. Do you understand? So all those things, and then of course inefficiencies, right, due to the poor management, brings about, you needing more resources, right? Those cost budget overruns. And then you also have quality issues, right? Quality issues when you are not managing your project effectively. You're not measuring, right, your processes, the inputs, the outcomes. You have quality issues. All right, every project is meant to have specifications. They are meant to have a particular quality they're designed to produce at the end of the day. So when there's no proper measurements, no proper monitoring and controlling processes in place, you have quality issues at the end of the day. So the product, the outcome, the service will not come out at the right quality, and this could be a problem. Okay, also dissatisfied stakeholders. So when you have all these issues, of course, what do you expect? Schedule delays, missed deadlines, budget overruns, poor quality. So it's eventually going to bring about dissatisfaction with your stakeholders. All right, angry customers, dissatisfied customers, angry clients, just like that, and that will in turn lead to bad reputation for you and for your organization in the business community. Okay, so there's a whole lot. And then rework. You have rework when you find out that the project was poorly done. Okay, sometimes the customer is dissatisfied and may demand for a rework. You have to do the thing again, right? You have to produce another one. That is what we call rework, and this is also going to cost money. It's going to cost more time. Also, you have uncontrolled expansion of projects. Uncontrolled expansion of projects. So when you don't manage your project properly, you're going to have the projects expanding, all right, uncontrollably, because you have quality issues. You need to solve those ones. You have stakeholder issues, you need to solve those ones. You have budget issues, you need to solve those ones, all different kind of things going on. And where you're trying to put out all those fires, solve all those problems here and there, which you didn't plan for in the first place, you find out that your project will be expanding, unnecessarily, uncontrollably. All right, so you don't want this at all. That's why it's important to manage your project effectively. Okay, so let's look at key takeaways from this particular section. Firstly, you've been able to understand the definition and characteristics of a project. We say a project is a set of activities or tasks put together to produce a product, a service, or a result, and it is progressively elaborated. It is a temporary endeavor that has a defined start and end date. Okay, so you understand that. And then you now recognize the importance of project management in achieving project objectives. So it's important to have project management in place. We're able to solve business problems. We're able to get things done on time and on budget. All right, so that's the importance of project management. Appreciate the business value added by effective project. So you're able to create the product with the right quality. You're able to deliver on time, right? And you're also able to satisfy your customers. Okay, you're able to satisfy your customers or your clients at the end of the day. So those are business value that is added as a result of effective project management, and everybody is happy, your team is happy, the customers are happy, you have a good reputation in the marketplace, and everything is just going on fine. Okay, and then you've also acknowledged the consequences of poor project management. You don't want to have that. All right, so you want to ensure that your project is properly managed during its life cycle. That's very important. Okay, all right, so at this point I'm going to say congratulations on exploring the project, what is a project, and the importance of project management. In the next section, we'll dive into the relationship of project, program, portfolio, and operations management. Okay, so I hope you've gotten a lot of value from this section. Keep up the fantastic work, and we'll continue our journey towards mastering project management. I'll see you in the next section. Cheers.